guys, welcome back to another episode of the Slightly More podcast. This time I've decided to copy Shane. You don't have your little bracelets on.
I know, mine are right there on the table.
Well, I am Chris Michael and
Shane Patrick Cruz.
I'm going to hand him his bracelets because it's part of my contract. Nice. We are in dark times. Somebody somewhere purchased a Corona, and ever since it's been... I think it started from somebody eating bats.
It did. A guy eating a bat. But bats actually carry the coronavirus.
Yeah, in wet markets.
The bad part of the coronavirus. You know, the coronavirus is actually, it's been around, but not in this version.
Well, yeah, the coronavirus means it's a type of
a form of influenza.
Yeah, it's
flu and
things that affect the lungs.
Yeah.
But this specific strain, which is COVID-19, which is the proper terminology, is new and we've never seen it before.
And it is affecting everything. Literally everything. You more so than me right now, but...
I literally could have told you that if you ate a bat, you would get a disease. I mean, like, you shouldn't just don't eat bats. But not trying to be culturally insensitive, but especially in these wet markets, there's got, like, chickens on top, and people are poop's getting on the bats.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry, it's distracted, but we want to talk about the current state of affairs.
Yeah.
Shane wanted to mention who it's affecting, and some tips and ideas that you can do to stand out in this time and really make a difference. I'll let you kick it off with what you're going to say.
It's affected both of us business-wise. I mean... Yeah. You know, both had events cancel, and literally the leads coming in have been nothing. Literally nothing coming in. I take that back. I have one lead that came in. They're like the troopers in the United States now.
Yeah, I've had 2 leads come in, and both of them have replied quickly saying, hey... Like, they didn't even book it. They were just like, hey, we're no longer interested in looking for entertainment. Our event's not going on.
Yeah, I actually talked to this guy on the phone, and it's a party for his dad, but, and he's like, I'm like, listen, is everything all right? Like, you know, because he's like, man, it's only going to be like 8 of us there. I'm like, okay, no worries. I'm like, you know, I had to tell him, like, I feel like I'm required to tell you that if anybody that you plans on coming is sick in any way whatsoever, like they either A, are not allowed to come because it's a health risk to not only you all but me as well as the performer, or you know, I can't do the event.
I haven't tried to scare anybody off. I'm not afraid of the thing, so I'm like, hey, if you're cool with having me, I'm cool with going. I was at a party, what's today? So yesterday I was at a party, and literally while I'm talking to this lady, she's like, oh my gosh, I was just quarantined. I just got back from Japan. I'm like, what?
Yeah. Like, you didn't think to tell me that before?
I'm like, you shook my hand and you kissed the birthday boy and
Wow.
But either way, I mean, like, I probably already had it, man. I had something.
Now I wonder.
I had something. I don't think it was really that, but if it was, I mean, I'm good. But you know, just to clear up some myths about the thing, a lot of people think people are overreacting, and
I was one of those people.
Yeah, and to some degree.
Till like a week ago.
What, overreacting?
Yeah, no. I thought people were overreacting. I thought it was like a big news hype, and people. I'm like, this is ridiculous, man. Like, people are just buying into this media hype. It's actually pretty serious.
Yeah. To just expand on why. So no, it's not a very dangerous disease, but if it's got even just a 1% fatality rate. A regular flu, which people are always saying, oh, the regular flu is so much more dangerous. Well, a 0.1% fatality rate obviously is going to be more dangerous if it affects a lot more people. However, because the coronavirus is having people cancel events, not be in small spaces, having people really consider their health and take up in hygiene, we can keep that number low so we're not killing as many people. You know, if you let it spread as much as the flu spreads, then, you know, 1% of the population would pretty much be gone.
Yeah.
And that's not cool. So just...
It's really hard for people that do events, people in any kind of service industry right now. I mean, it's just basically come to a halt.
Getting dark here. I mean, like, you know, we're fighting death, man, and I mean the population's already a little out of control. But hey,
yeah, I know, right?
I'm joking about
the government's way of controlling that. Yeah, man. I mean, it's affected both of us, and you know, kind of just being open and honest and vulnerable and authentic. It's man, business for the next couple of months is questionable. So it's like, what do you do in these, you know, what do you decide to do in the next couple of months when nothing's coming in? I mean, obviously take care of yourself. I mean, to be honest, I'm at a point where it's like, I have to take any kind of risk whatsoever to take this, you know, potential gig that's coming up because I need the money, because I don't know when the next gig is going to come in. It might be 2 months, 3 months from now. God, I hope it's not 3 months, but but you never know, right? And so it's like, what do you do now to make sure that you're setting yourself, like, don't just sit by and say, oh, I'm just gonna stay home and eat and like do nothing and just hope that someone reaches out to me soon and just kind of figure it out, right? Like, no, you need to be proactive, right? You need to take some kind of action during this time.
Have you read the book, or it's more of a short story, the Who Moved My Cheese?
Mm-mm.
Oh, I feel like that's something that you'd be into. A lot of you guys, especially corporate workers, know what that is. And so the quick synopsis of it is that there's, and I've actually, believe it or not, I've not read it myself, but I've heard it summarized so many times. The quick version is that there's these mice or these rats, and every day they go out and they find this cheese. And they get the cheese and they're satisfied. They go back home every day. Same thing. They find that there's this one route they take to get to the cheese. Well, one day they take that same route to get to the cheese. They do everything the same, and the cheese isn't there. One of the rats or mice, I think it is, sits and waits for the cheese to come back. One of them goes and looks for new cheese. One of them, so they come up with all these different ways of how they're going to get cheese again. And I think one of the lessons is don't just sit and wait for it to come back. Devise new ideas. And while this virus will certainly pass, who knows how long it's going to last and how long people are going to need to be quarantined and events will be canceled. One of the things that's scary, and I'm sure for Shane, like you were talking about this, and I'll let you, obviously, I want you to share your own story, but as somebody who was just trying to gain momentum and finally pick up these gigs, and you were breaking into the world of being full-time, this has got to be horrifying for you to come to a halt and just say, hey, like, you're going to lose all your momentum.
Like literally, like literally over the last 3 weeks, I had started to gain so much momentum, both on just redesigning the website and the leads that are coming in, and just what was being developed, and the speaking side of things was starting to actually go. I had 2 public shows that said, yes, let's move forward and do this. And then all of a sudden, it's literally come to a grinding halt. And it's scary. It's like, now I've got to restart all that again, because the momentum, built into the momentum, is people are hearing about me and me actually being at the show and then being excited, and me being able to leverage that excitement into another show and more referrals and that sort of thing. So it's like, all of that is like literally just
and if you don't
nothing
know,
right now.
Yeah, and if you don't know, being in the world of events or being a performer is a lot like snowballing, because if you've never really felt the momentum, you don't know how exciting it is, and it really is the only way to grow, is to get one event, grow them to more events, and eventually your calendar's booked solid.
And I have a website that's for the speaking side of things that's I'm paying quite a bit of money to get done, and so it's like, I'm paying all that money for literally nothing right now. I mean, that's the thing you have to think about. It's like, you can't be negative and say like, oh, I'm building it for literally nothing, which is not necessarily true, because I'm building it for the long term. And you need to be in business for the long term. You need to understand that there are things that you have time to put in place now that'll set you up for success once we come out of this. For me personally, one of the things, I have a string that's like hanging down behind me. For me personally, one of the things that I think about is once we actually do come out of it, so everybody is, businesses are doing work from home, like, bars. I'm almost for certain we are within 1 week of bars and restaurants and churches and just event venues being shut down completely, like not allowed to go into whatsoever, because there's other states that have done that in the United States so far in the last couple of days. So, but I think once we actually come out of this, it's a great opportunity as an entertainer to say, if you've got some open dates, to reach out to companies and say, listen, you guys have been cooped up in the house, have not been able to get out, you've had to work from home, you have to deal with employees. You have to remotivate employees. Like, this is the greatest time to hold some kind of event to welcome back the people into your business, to say thank you for dealing with this hard time that we've been through. We're so excited to have you back. We're so invigorated to restart the business, and so excited. It's a great time for that. So it's a good opportunity for us.
Definitely.
As entertainers, to be able to take advantage of that.
And keep in mind, it may not happen right away. The people, the bans may be lifted on event gatherings. Companies are going to obviously have to make up for lost ground, so it may almost be just as bad as having the actual virus itself once it's lifted. But 2-3 months from then, it's going to be back in full swing. People are going to be itching for events. People. I mean, not only do companies have to hold them, they like holding them. And I can imagine this is going to screw up finances in a lot. And I want to talk about, and I think part of the reason that many of you are going to be pulled into this video is you'll see the clip where we're talking about our finances and what's going on. And I know that you want to not have numbers shielded, but with companies, I think before we get into that, it's important to acknowledge that events are tax write-offs for them. That's something
Yeah.
that they're no longer going to be able to write
It's
off.
a marketing write-off.
Yeah, it's also something that the people who run the events, whether it's caterers, entertainers, decorators, are all going to be taking a massive hit on this. But even more so, even people who have diversified and do investment trading, they're being hit by that. One of my magician friends who is an investment trader got hit really heavily. So it's one of those things where it's almost impossible to protect yourself, even if you're not in the world of events. And that's a scary thing. So please know that it's not just you, it's not just your family, it's everyone, and we're all hurting equally. And so no one's really being set behind. If anything, everyone's being pushed back equally. So there's that. One of the things that scares me is that I've just started investing a lot in my business. My marketing has gone up. The amount of money I'm spending on props and things just increased. I've really put a lot of monthly expenses in place because I was starting to see that growth. In March, I had the biggest gig I've ever booked. It was nearly a $20,000 deal. Along with that, I've had $10,000 of other events cancel. So within 2 days, I lost $30,000 worth of work. And while I have money in the bank and I've been doing this for a while, and I like to think I save well, with all these business expenses I have and how much momentum I'm putting into my business and paying employees, even I can't last more than a few months. So if this lasts, forbid until like the end of the summer. I mean, this summer is when I earn like almost all of my yearly income. So, I don't I just don't know. This is uncharted territory for me. Those guys who lived through the 2008 market crash, they might know more about this. This is scary for me, and trying to be positive and think of other income strategies because I can't just sit on no income for the month. But
Right. So what are I want to quickly talk on some things that you can do that don't cost you any money to take advantage of the time that you have off. One of those things is read. Read. If you're a magician, just look into old books, look at the videos that you have, go through all the effects that you have, practice, practice, practice. Reach out to old clients and just say, hey, I know you're going through a hard time right now. Just wanted to say hey, and just know
points.
that that I'm thinking about you guys, and looking forward to when you can come back, and let me know if you need anything, if there's anything going to help, right? So that doesn't cost you anything, just costs you time. The other thing too is just taking care of yourself, right? So doing personal reading, like taking the time to maybe work on your health, especially in this day and age.
Definitely.
With everything that's going on, one of the best ways is to be as healthy as possible. I say that as I have a container of yoga covered pretzels over there.
He's been into everyone.
I love yoga covered pretzels.
They're good.
So good. So to try to take advantage of this time. Other things business wise is look at your website. Look at maybe things that you can change on your website. If you've got new pictures or videos, think about doing live videos on your phone of just what you're personally going through, and just some tips and tricks for your audience that's out there. So
off of that, your fans want to see how you react to these things.
Yeah.
If you're listen, everyone has fans. Even I remember when I was first starting out, even my family, I consider them my fans. There are people who want to know, how are you reacting? Make a Facebook Live video. If you've never experimented with that, this is the time. Everyone's at home, cooped up. They need content to watch. And to Shane's point too, I know something I never have the time to do is revamp my props, clean them sometimes. I never had a chance to do that, which should clean your props right now, especially if you still have gigs.
Yeah.
Well, I have this silver case that my floating table comes in that I set up on stage during my show in a way that I think is aesthetically pleasing. The thing's been beat up, it's dirty, I haven't had time to clean it or reorder a new one because I've just been gigging so much. It's a chance for me to take a month and maybe focus on writing better things for my show.
Yeah.
Fixing my props. So think of this as more of a blessing. Like, what can you reroute the energy from negative energy into positive energy? This is your chance to set yourself up for success. I think that's part of what you're going into.
So I'm looking at my website. I'm looking at obviously finishing up developing the speaker website.
Definitely.
I'm looking at one of the interesting things I've figured out in a recent show as I was doing a house party a couple weekends ago. And it was like 100 something people there. I was telling you about this on the phone after the gig, but I ended up in a spot where I ended up in the dining room at the table for normal walk around. you do 4 or 5 minutes and then you're on to the next group, right? So you only do maybe 2 or 3 effects. This one was very interesting. It's like I ended up sitting there for like 30 minutes, and so I'm like, man, I've kind of gone through my repertoire right now. Like I got to figure out something I'm gonna do. So now one of the things I'm doing during this time is learning new routines, if that ever happens. And actually, the gig that just called, that exact thing is going to happen. They even specifically said they wanted it. They wanted me to sit down, do a few things, talk for a while, do a few things, talk for a while. So this is a great opportunity for me to actually go through all of the material that I have and come up with 2 or 3 more things that I can, take advantage of. So take advantage of the time. Don't just sit around and be complacent and not do anything, because I guarantee you'll be more behind coming out of this.
Right.
Once it finally, subsides and everything's good again,
and
than if you were to just sit and do nothing.
A kick in the butt should definitely be that. Like, don't sit and wait for this to pass. Don't take this as a break or a vacation. A lot of guys I've seen on these Facebook pages, like Magicians Only, well, actually, I don't think it was there, but another performer group I'm in, I see people saying things about, like, oh, my vacation started early, or like, oh, excited to catch up on the show. Guys, listen, like, don't, I think I just spit talking about COVID-19.
I know, right?
Man.
I just sanitize.
I had to acknowledge it because I know the camera saw that, because that was a big one. I don't know. Where
Also coughed earlier, but just. Sorry, if you could just not do that here. Okay.
Anyway, so don't let yourself fall behind. Those who work the hardest during the lulls are the people who shoot up to the top the quickest when it's all over. Yeah. So, and whether it's sending out surveys that you haven't had a chance to send, trying to spend time getting reviews from customers in the past you haven't had a chance to get reviews from, working on new material like Shane is talking about, or revamping your props like I need to do. There's so much that you can do that goes into the business side of things that there's no way you can handle on your own. Also consider your employees. If you have an assistant, or if you have somebody who helps you with your business, think about ways to get creative with what they're doing too. I promise you, I don't have as many emails or phone calls coming in as I used to, and I'm paying my assistant to do less work, and so I'm trying to find ways to redirect her towards positive goals. And so some of that is helping her get educated herself, sending her tools like Photoshop classes, or how to write newsletters, and letting her be educated and learn and take the time that I'm paying her to actually grow her skill set. I don't normally have the time to do that because she's too busy answering phone calls and emails. So not only you, but your business as well. Who can you educate and grow? Yeah. One other thing that I'll mention too is, I know I'm pushing guys in the business side of things, but don't underestimate the value of investing in yourself, whether it's hobbies and skill sets. And I knew that you can take a little bit of time off during this month. Just don't make a habit of it. You should definitely be spending time with your family, making sure everybody's safe and checking in. And I think that those things will be definitely undervalued. Just don't let them take over this entire month. Does that make sense? Yeah. What else did you want to add?
That was it.
This is it? Okay. Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah, just take advantage of the time that you have.
Yeah. If you guys need ideas or want to jam ideas, my DMs are always open for you guys. I've got some ideas that I'll be thinking about doing to make it for some lost income. And actually, Shane talked me into doing some business tips for you guys. So I would love to just open this up. I'll do some consulting sessions for you. I'll keep it super duper cheap. I'm not even doing it for the money. I'm really just doing it because I finally have the time to help you guys.
Yeah.
So I would love to do that.
Yep. All right, that's it.
See you in the next one.